Hello, I am Aaron,
And you are Caleb, actually.
and this is Because We Are Dorks. Today we will be talking about some new toys and gadgets that are coming out. Um, and later on in the show, we'll be discussing our processes of rooting and jailbreaking our devices, our separate devices. I have an iPad that I've jailbroken, and Aaron has a. Well, he doesn't have
Motorola
anything
Zoom.
jailbroken
Yeah.
right now.
Well, Motorola Zoom is rooted. Yeah. I
Oh, it
rooted
is?
it to put ICS on it. And
Oh.
then literally the next day they released the official one. But we'll
Okay, so
talk
he
about
does
that
have a
when we
rooted
get to it.
item, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll get to that later. What did you want to talk about first? We have a couple things to talk about.
First off, this is episode number 2, of course. We're much more prepared this time. We actually have stories we would like to talk about. Um, from some of my favorite sites. One of my favorite sites, of course, is Engadget. This is something a lot of people are talking about. I actually had somebody send this to me even after I had seen it and thought, hey, this would be a good thing to talk about. Um, excuse me. Can you edit that out?
No.
I'm just kidding. Google is going to sell Android. Chill. Google is going to sell Android-based heads-up display glasses supposedly later this year. I wanted to talk about this because at first I think it would be really cool. I think it'd be something that I would love to have to be put these glasses on and be like, oh, that's
But you
awesome.
think there's problems now with texting and driving?
Yeah. Well,
Somebody
what
has
it's supposed to do.
glasses on that
Yeah.
gives him
Well, what it's supposed to do
Android.
is think of it like your glasses right now, where you can see out of them still. It still overlays like over what you're seeing.
Yeah, but if you're looking at, watching a movie on your glasses while you're
Yeah.
walking down the street, you're gonna run into a wall.
I don't think it's really going to be so much about watching movies and stuff. I think it's going to be about reading a quick text, which it can still be dangerous.
Especially
And there's
if you're
still
in a
going to
car.
be people saying, don't wear these while you're driving, yada yada. But my biggest issue with this is, well, I love everything like this that's like,
Anything Android?
well, yeah, anything Android, but even if Apple was saying they're going to make this, I still think it would be like, that's really cool. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to be that plugged in.
Yeah.
There's just something about putting that something over your eye where it's no longer a device, it starts
It
to
might as well be
become
implanting something
starts,
into your
yeah,
brain.
well, because that's the next logical step. You get this this pair of glasses that you can have this heads up display in. What's to say then it's not changed to a contact lens that you wear, and then it's just like, we're just gonna put a new
Neural
eyeball in
implant,
you.
yeah.
And then it's just this constant, like,
You can walk up
there's
to any wall
all this
and
stuff.
look at internet on
Yeah,
it.
it's just all this just interconnected stuff. And I'm actually one of the people that, like, I love advancements in technology, but I don't really get scared of it. But I get to the point where I'm just like, I just think that'd be too much. And I really don't know if the world is ready for that. I think there'd be some people like us that think that's really cool, that'd be awesome to have. But when I stop and think about it, I really think that I just don't know if I want to take that step. And do I really need it?
Right.
You know?
It's the point where functionality meets purpose.
Yeah.
Is this really going to serve as much of a purpose as it's like when I first got the iPad. I swore up and down I'd never get one, and once I got one, I realized all the stuff I could use it for. But is it going to be the same way with these glasses to where you put them on and you know get 3G, 4G on them and are able to just walk around and get on the internet with them?
One thing that would be cool is the GPS.
Yeah.
Because I think what they need to have in cars is an overlay of your screen, of your windshield. That's the word I'm looking for. And it shows you, shows an arrow at the road you're supposed to turn on.
Right.
Like, that could be kind of something in the glasses where, it shows you a literal path. Here's
Right.
where you need to go. That's kind of cool. I
That
could
would be
see
cool.
that being
So
useful.
then just make GPS glasses.
Yeah, well, Apple has taken a different route with this. They're talking about wearable technology as well, but they're talking about wristwatches. And there's a couple concepts out right now. And a lot of people think that's the next move by
Well,
Apple.
see, on this side it says these glasses are said to include a low-resolution camera that can monitor your surroundings in real time and overlay relevant information.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, so you should theoretically be able to function with them still on. But, I mean, it's not really necessarily about having your eyes on the road when you're driving or even when you're walking, some of these people.
But see, now my question is, when does it become a problem? I mean, what I'm talking about is like people sitting at work with these glasses on,
right.
and their boss walks by. They'll never know whether they're doing their work or.
I imagine the first
web.
generation of these things are going to be very ridiculously huge and probably really ugly. There's some place. I can't find the site right now. I'm gonna try to go here to the source. That had an actual picture of what they think it might look like. I can't find it anymore, but it kind of looked like a pair of Oakleys. Oh, okay. And you know the Oakleys that have the headphones built in that go right into your ear?
Yeah.
It's like a Bluetooth headset. It goes right into your ear. That's kind of what they look like, and then they have a little camera in the middle, and then everything kind of overlays on the screen. But the way that Apple's going with it, instead of having another device, it's a device that, or another independent device, it's a device that communicates with your phone at the same time, so you can look at it to get your text messages instead of having to pull your phone out of your pocket.
See, now something
so
I
you
think
still
would be
have
cool
your phone, but it's augmented, it's in addition to your phone.
Something I think would be cool is like the Darth Vader helmet type glasses, where you put it on and they're like blacked out glasses, but the overlay is a camera, and you can see everything still around you.
Or from Deus Ex Human Revolution, his sunglasses where they're built into his head, and then when he goes like this, they go. You realize people can't actually see that, but yeah. Anyway, it's just something kind of interesting to think about. I honestly just, as cool as I think it is, I honestly don't think I need it.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't run out to buy them.
I don't understand why we can't just have phones.
Yeah.
But
especially with the advancements in phones.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, and I mean they're gonna get smaller, they're gonna get lighter, and I kind of like the thought of Apple doing the wearable technology where instead of having to pull my phone out, I can see I got a text message from Caleb. I don't need to look at that right now. I can just delete or remind me later to text back to him. Or even with the advancements in Siri and voice commands in Android, just say send a reply to Caleb, say this, and I never have to touch my phone. Yeah. That's where I see it going more than overlaying stuff over all this information over my eyes.
I know. I mean, people already get too distracted. So
and I think you're going to see two camps now. You're going to see Android going the way of putting stuff in front of your face, and Apple going the way of its voice command.
Yeah.
And in that, I think Apple might actually win out in
that. So the next story we have is on the PlayStation Vita. I think it's Vita.
Does anyone even know?
I don't think it matters, but I think it's called the PS Vita.
PlayStation Vita.
This is another one of your stories, and I'll take the next one. So we'll talk about this one.
This one, I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's cool. I mean,
it looks too much like a PSP.
Right. Well, I don't understand why they couldn't just call it the PSP2 or the PSP3 or whatever you want to call it. Or
I mean, I really don't.
I don't understand the Vita thing. I know there's something behind that. I know it means something. I'm sounding like an idiot right now, but really, it's more because I don't really care about what it means.
Now,
so that's why I didn't bother looking it up.
Apparently, it does have front and rear facing cameras on it.
I mean, really, when you look at it, it's a 5-inch screen, so it's really like a big phone, almost more like a tablet. So for someone who's like, I want a tablet for gaming, that would be something that's perfect for them because it fit in your pocket.
It's not really a tablet.
No, but for someone who wants a tablet, a bigger screen than like an iPhone screen for playing games on, but they don't want to go get one of these massive 10-inch tablets or even a 7-inch. Yeah. A 5-inch screen would be great for them. My thought in this, though, is I don't know how much life one of these devices has. Hey, I can't speak good word. And what I mean by that is with phones getting better and better and better, and with tablets, do you need a dedicated gaming device? I think right now, yes, you do. If you want a game on the go, you need something like a PSP or a Nintendo
Yeah, I mean,
DS.
phone games
Yeah.
are. I mean, they've made a lot of advancements since I first
Right.
got a cell phone. Especially, I mean, coming from like the track phones was my first cell phone.
Yeah.
It had Snake on it, and that was about it.
That was a fun game,
It was a
though.
fun game,
And you're thinking, man, I'm playing a game right now.
but
That's awesome.
gaming. I mean, cell phones have made a lot of advancements in gaming technology,
Oh, yeah.
but not near.
But,
I
right.
mean,
That's what I mean. Right
I
now,
mean, you pick up one of these and start
yeah.
playing, any game on it really, and
Yeah.
you'll instantly know it's not a cell phone.
Exactly. And right now, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want something like this, the phones aren't quite to the place that can replace something like this. So if you're a hardcore gamer, you got a game on the go, this is what you need. But I think give it about 5 years and there won't be a need for this. Because I think you're going to have phones that are capable of doing these games. Of course, some people might argue, well, what about the control sticks and the buttons and all that? But, I think that's just kind of a niche market. Because when you game on the go, you're not actually. People are going to get mad because I say you're not actually gaming. But, I mean, you are, but you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a different type of game. It's something you can pick up real quick.
I mean, it's
play
not a console, but
Right.
it's still gaming.
Right. It is still gaming, yeah.
Especially, I mean, you can call it gaming if it's a dedicated. I mean, like, you can't pick up a cell phone. People are like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm gaming right now. That's different, but.
Another thing I worry about this one is, of course, PlayStation and PlayStation Network. Because with how many times that has been down in the not too distant or not too recent news, it just ruins everything. You can't do anything. And a lot of the stuff on this, like being able to text with your friends who are also playing at the same time, a lot of social integration in it, you won't be able to use it.
Yeah.
You'll still be able to play games and everything, so it won't matter that much. But, and of course, crossplay is pretty cool, where you can pick up a game on your PSP, like they're playing F-Zero X here. Have you ever played that game?
I don't think so.
Played it on Nintendo 64. That's a fun game. Anyway, I believe that's F-Zero X. It looks like it. Anyway, you pick up on your PSP play, and then you continue your game on your PlayStation when you get home. So, that's pretty cool. I think right now it's great. I don't really think I need one. There was a time when I had a PSP. I loved it. I had to sell it because I couldn't afford college. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I loved it, and I think at that time it was good for me. But now I don't think I really need it. What do you think? You got anything to add on it?
Not really. I haven't really looked that much at it, but from what I see of it, I not really.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of up in the air. But I'm like, it's okay.
More power to you. If you want to go out and buy one, and a lot of people probably will. But
yeah,
personally, I don't think that it's.
You consider yourself a gamer, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hardcore gamer, but you consider yourself a gamer, and so like, I consider myself the same way. So as a gamer, I say, I don't really need to do this on the go.
I don't even say that as a gamer. As a gamer, I would say heck yes. But as a person who,
me as a gamer and also an adult who has a job, I don't really need to game on the go. Because when I'm not home, I'm usually at work. Or I'm actually doing something that I need to. If I'm at home, I can play my games, So, since we're talking about gaming, then let's move on to the story you want to talk about.
Okay. This is one I found, and it's... I don't know. There's some... little bit of good and bad mixed in it. I really like the way it looks. It's called the Razer Blade. It's the love child of two companies that merge. I'm trying to find.
Is it one of them? Is it the Razer company, the ones that make the Razer mice and all that?
Yes.
Which are really really good.
Razer wanted to meet with Engadget? No. I'm not sure what the other company is, but it is.
Razer makes a lot of gaming peripherals for computers and gamers.
So if you look at it, it's very, very thin. It's I don't want to say it's a gaming laptop. Well, yeah,
I
it
think
is.
that's what
Razer's
they're.
first gaming
Yeah,
laptop
that's
is
what they're marketing it as.
Yes.
But
Okay, so it is a gaming laptop, but I mean, it has the coolest thing I think about it. If you look at the keyboard, if you pull up a picture of the keyboard, up at the top right there, you'll see those are LCD keys that you can change. So, say you wanted one of them when you pressed it to take you straight to Facebook, it'll come up with the Facebook icon, and it'll just have the F on it, blue, white. It looks just like the Facebook icon. You press it, takes you right to your Facebook page. Same thing with Twitter, any Foursquare, whatever you want to set it as. Google your Mail, YouTube, just all those can be taken up by whatever you want it to be, and so I think that's really cool.
That's pretty cool. Or if you're playing World of Warcraft
Right.
and you bind
or you
those
can set
to powers
it to
and
games,
stuff.
like if you have Skyrim on one of them, you can set that and it'll launch Skyrim. It'll launch your game right there.
But do you think you can do that too? Like, if you're
What's
playing WoW,
another?
you can set up like.
Yes, you can.
This is my. I don't know. I don't like
one
WoW,
of the
so I don't
pictures
know
on the website.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know if you have all the same pictures that are on here.
Oh, probably not. I'm just actually on the pictures here. I can go to the post. Yeah.
But that's what I'm looking at. If you would go to this picture, it's on the scroll down, and it shows those set to keep going. I'll show you when to stop. You can the trackpad.
Oh, it's a clock on there too.
Yeah, it keeps going down.
There we go.
Nope, no. Yeah, well
That's what you're talking about before.
But you can set it to Facebook, Twitter, Google Mail, any of those, and when you press those, and you can change them, so you don't have to keep it as Facebook, Twitter, Google Mail. If you find you're not using one of them, you can change it. Keep scrolling down.
Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
There's Skyrim, yeah.
I think it's that one. Yeah. The trackpad is actually an LCD screen also. Wow. So not only do you have LCD screen, but you have it on your trackpad too. So you can actually be looking at websites while you're looking at websites.
You could be looking like if you're playing Skyrim and you're like, oh, how do I find that last dragon priest?
Right. You can look up
Google.
Look it up. You can go to Google on that.
And look, and these turn into, I don't know, I'm pointing with my finger. These turn into little navigation buttons for the internet then.
And so
there's
you
your
can
search,
back,
there's your
forward, refresh. Yeah. And then it's
really
complete.
Cool.
Even the trackpad's completely touch screen. When you're done using it, you can go back to using it as a mouse.
That is really cool.
This actually would be an awesome computer to have an external mouse with, because then you could always have that separate for.
Yep. It's interesting to see the trackpad on the right, because even on mine, on yours, on every single laptop, it's always right here in front. And sometimes when I type and my hand hits that mouse thing, it'll stop typing because it thinks I selected something else. Right. It's annoying. So that's really interesting. All your typing would be done. Of course, it's not really like a typing computer, but all of your typing would be done on the left, and then you'd still have kind of where that number pad is on most laptops. You have your trackpad, and I think that would work pretty good.
One of the downsides, they say, they have a list of pros and cons up at the top of the page here. If you look at the side of this thing, though, if you keep scrolling all the way up, almost.
I like this one here with it's still the touchpad, but there's a clock on it.
Right.
That's pretty.
If you look that one right there, it's super thin. This is a very, very thin computer, just about the width of a USB.
I think I know what con you're about to give us then.
Well, the biggest con that they had with when they checked this thing out was the audio on it was really bad. The only other couple things they came up with were finicky hinge. That's probably just it was a prototype when they looked at it, so they'll probably fix most of the stuff, including the audio. And they say that the portability infringes on performance. I don't understand.
Okay, yeah,
they wanted to make it smaller, so it got left out.
Here's what the con I was gonna say to this, and what I was gonna bring up. Well, no, not even necessarily that, because the way we're going with games now, you don't necessarily, you can download, if you have a World of Warcraft account, you just go download it. If you play Old Republic, you can just download it, But anyway, no, the biggest issue for me in this, and that goes for really any laptop, or especially a gaming laptop, is that technology changes so fast.
Yeah.
And if you are going to have a gaming rig, you need to be able to...
At this point, it's $2,799.
And you need
to
be able to
buy it, and a week later, it's going to be
You need to be able to upgrade
obsolete.
About all you'll be able to upgrade in this is maybe some more memory. You won't be able to put in a new video card. Yeah, and like you said, maybe new memory, depending on how you can open the thing up. So if you think you're gonna get a gaming laptop, I would seriously consider it twice because, I mean, this would just be another instance like with the Vita where you just have to game on the go. It would be good for you for quite a while.
Say that, yeah, but because that'll happen with any computer you get. No computer is ever gonna be,
But if you're gonna go, if you're a gamer and you're like, I need a gaming rig, you wouldn't get a laptop. You wouldn't get a gaming laptop.
You might.
You might get one as a secondary gaming machine to take with you to LAN parties and that kind of stuff. But strictly speaking, as like it cannot be upgraded, and it'll probably be good for maybe a year, and it'll still play games. It'll still be fine. But the next time that new graphics card comes out and your new game wants to use it, then you're kind of out of luck. And I just think for $2,800,
if you go up,
you could get a crazy machine for half of that price as a desktop.
One of my favorite things about this is the case it comes in.
Is it this one right here?
Yeah. That's actually the carrying case for it. You can slip that right in your bag, and then it's just a box.
Yeah. It is a really nice looking laptop. I like it.
And I like how it has the glow and everything. Yeah. 3 USB ports, HDMI.
Do you like this the font that they have on the text on the keyboard? I kind of like it. It's kind of a
It's kind of
space agey, kind of. I don't remember what they call that text, but
I like it.
Yeah, I do. I really like it.
Techno-ish.
Yeah.
Weird sort of.
I love the just the trackpad on the right. The fact that it's it's little. Actually didn't know it was its own little LCD screen with a little browser and stuff in it. Is just, I mean, that little stuff is like, that's really cool.
But if you scroll about a little more than halfway down, it shows you what it looks like when you set one of the buttons.
Let me see.
Keep going. Right there.
Okay.
It shows you, I mean, you can button assignment, and then we want it to launch a program. So you set launch program, and then program to launch. That's obvious. And so, I mean, you just find the execute file and just click OK, and it'll, and the icon for it will set to the button. So you always know what it looks like.
Right. That's really cool.
And a little more down, it shows you, it compares the size a little bit further down right there. That's a MacBook.
The MacBook. Is it a MacBook Pro or?
I'm not sure if it's a Mac. It's 17-inch MacBook Pro. And so it's a little bit smaller. Just a little bit, tiny bit smaller. Not very much.
Yeah. It definitely is. I mean, it's gorgeous. I like it. I really do.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a gaming computer, I would recommend looking, if you can, get a desktop, because you'll pay half of that and you'll get a more powerful machine.
Right. I mean, if I had, expendable income, then I would go out and...
It's really cool. And I'm hoping this kind of stuff here, like the trackpad on the right and the keys, catches on with other computers. There's no reason why a standard, non-gaming computer can't have those features in it. So that's good. I like it.
I do too.
Good story. So what should we look for now? That's pretty much our news stories for right now. Our things that matter to us stories. We are at about 23 minutes now. So do you want to talk about?
We can.
That kind of stuff.
We thought one of the fun things that we could discuss tonight would be our experiences, either rooting or jailbreaking our devices. I have an iPad, like I said, the last 2 shows. And Aaron has a Motorola Zoom, that's running Android
4.0.3.
Yeah.
Ice cream sandwich, ICS. Yeah.
And my iPad's running, of course, 5.0.1. And it took me a lot longer to get into it than it took Aaron. I mean, mine is a one-click thing. His is a lot longer process, and rooting is a lot longer. Takes a lot longer to do the jailbreaking. So
there are some one-click root methods, but it usually takes a while after a phone has been rooted before those methods will come out.
Right.
So sometimes it can take a while, but
so
go ahead and tell them what you did, like with your iPad and stuff, because some people may not know, like,
Well, the what I did first was, of course, I did research on it, on how to do it, because I wasn't sure. I did it by myself. I didn't. I mean, I didn't. I went to Google and just did a bunch of research on how to do it, what the pros and cons are. I wanted to make sure that I found something safe and that I didn't just jump right into it, of
Right.
course, because that would have been really bad.
That's the one thing with jailbreaking and
You'd
rooting.
have to, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, you're if it's ruined, it's ruined, and
Yep.
so, um,
And you void your warranty, and
right.
whereas it's
Luckily, the
not even.
iPad didn't have a warranty.
Well, right. Well, but if something had been if there had been some error inside of the iPad with like I don't know, there was an honest glitch like in manufacturing, and you on the first day you got it, you went and like jailbroke it, and then you found this glitch and was like, oh, that must be a manufacturer glitch, and you tried to send it back.
They won't take
No,
it.
no. Now, and there are some people who say they know how to restore it back, and they'll never even know, and I think that is possible.
Would assume
But
so.
yeah, yeah. You just can never be sure, and you're just never sure if you're gonna brick the device, especially Apple devices.
And so, but I mean, with the program I finally found, which is called Red Snow, I think
Red
is the one I finally
Snow.
used. SN0W.
Yeah, for the leet speak.
Yeah. Um, that's the one I used, and it was very easy. I just plugged it in and clicked, go. I put it in a certain mode. You have to hold down certain buttons in it, but it took over from there, and it did it. And it doesn't. I haven't. I didn't really notice any. There's nothing really different when you do it.
Right.
It's not like it takes anything away. It just puts on a new kind of app store called Cydia.
Yeah, jailbreaking lets you install
Third-party
unauthorized
apps.
third-party apps.
Right.
Yeah, basically. So anything that Apple's like, no, we don't want on our store,
Right.
you can actually go ahead and install now.
Well, most stuff. Not
Most,
anything.
yeah. I mean, not necessarily anything.
And
like,
so I
you
did
can
that.
Put Android on it.
And it went really well. And so I mean, I don't regret it at all. It worked perfectly. It let basically the reasons I did it were for, um, infinite folders, or infinite folders is what it's called. And I use that for. It lets me put. Normally, Apple will limit the number of icons you can have in a folder. And infinite folders just lets you. It breaks that and lets you use it for as many as you want.
That's what I see jailbreaking on iOS is like stuff that's like, why did they not include
I
this?
know,
And people are
right.
like, fine, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, basically that's
Yeah.
what it is. There's not really a lot of, this is dumb kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's things that people, are like, they
They
should
actually
have put
want,
this
right.
in.
And before iOS 5, before the notification bar, when you put in SpringPad, did you get Springboard?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
back
don't
when I
use
had
that as much.
Yeah, back when I had an iPod Touch, I still have it, but I don't use it. I jailbroke that and put Springboard on it, and it was the same thing. You flicked the top, and a little notification thing came down and showed it had actually like power widgets and stuff in it. So like that was a feature that the people were like, we want that. And then Apple was like, no. So they're like, okay, we'll do it ourselves. And then after that, Apple was like, oh well, okay, well maybe we can find a way to do this. And sure enough, it's in iOS 5. But
Right.
I digress.
Not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
For Apple, but there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I like on it. It lets you add different themes to the iPad, and so you can change the way it looks, change the way some of the icons look.
Which
it
is
gives
just
you
stuff
more
you
freedom.
again, they don't
Right.
let you do for some reason.
And it just gives you more freedom with the iPad, basically. But like I said, if you're thinking about doing it, do your research on it.
Yes.
Also, like I said, I recommend Red Snow. I didn't have any problems with it. It worked perfectly the first time, and I haven't regretted it at all. So
Rooting Android, which is essentially the same exact thing as jailbreaking, letting you not only install third-party apps which Android already lets you do that if you tell it to, but it's more about installing third-party operating systems and UIs and themes and that kind of stuff. So it's a different beast. We're not trying to get Android to be like, hey, you should let us customize because Android already lets you do that. So it's a different thing when you do it for Android. Really, the only reason you're going to root in Android is one, to do wireless tether, which again,
Right.
you do also with you can also do with an iPhone, or to install a custom ROM. Like if you're sick and tired of waiting for the newest update, you can just go do it yourself.
Right.
And that's what happened with me in the Zoom. I liked the Zoom. It was running Honeycomb before, and it was okay. It was a little sluggish. It had some rough edges, but I generally liked it. But I got sick and tired of waiting for 4.0, so I went ahead and just went to XDA, which is my favorite site, xdadevelopers.com. And I mean, you can find stuff on just about any phone. They even have iPhone stuff in here, by the way. Did you know that on XDA?
I did not know that.
Yeah. If you go to the forum, let's see, they have a list of all the devices. And if you scroll down here, you'll find they have WebOS. Here's the iPhone forum. Just kind of helps you see they're talking about Red Snow and just all sorts of different stuff. But anyway, so I hit this forum and somebody was like, we got a stable version of it running, and it took me, how long did it take me? Not really that long, because I've rooted a whole lot of devices in the past and installed a lot of custom ROMs, so it really wasn't that bad. But it was hilarious because I installed it. It was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. There's a few things that weren't working. Face unlock was kind of iffy. It was just a little bit buggy. The next day, and I mean literally the next day, it was released for Zoom officially. So I went back and just installed the official one. I am still rooted, so I still have root access and everything to it, but I'm running an official.
Are you thinking about rooting your phone yet?
I have a Galaxy S2, and I want to, because there is a build out of ICS for the Galaxy S2 for the Sprint version. But it's because they are actually building it right now, the people from Sprint, and it got leaked. Oh, no. So I'm actually content, like, staying and waiting since I know they're working on it. My only issue with that is right now, since I switched to Sprint, it's my only phone. Whenever I've done this stuff in the past, I've always had a backup. I've always had a backup phone because I had T-Mobile and I had a SIM card. I could just pop it into one of the old phones, not a big deal. If I do something to this and mess it up,
you're out $200.
I'm out way more than that because I'd have to buy one off contract. But also, it's just like, even if it's something I can fix, I'm still out of a phone for that time that I'm trying to get it fixed, right. So I'm not ready to take that move yet. And since I know they're working on ICS for it, I'm content right now with just waiting because it's amazing. Like, yeah. I mean, the phone just works great. There's nothing wrong with it. I just always want the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
And then right now, I'm also playing with the Nook Color. I have ICS running on that. I'm running one of the nightlies that they're releasing for it. And it's getting better. Each time I flash it, like the new nightly, the new update, it runs a little bit better and a little bit faster, a little bit cleaner. So hopefully before too much longer, we'll have a really, really good, stable, fast ROM for that.
But hang on.
That's just kind of what I've been doing lately. So
apparently one of the things, I lost it now, but one of the things I just looked up XDA developers about the iPhone and or iPad and just basic iOS software. Apparently it says Red Snow stopped working.
Oh.
Which is the program I just recommended.
Wah, wah, wah. And that's a jailbreaking tool, right?
Kind of. Yeah, basically it just does it. But while patching, the Red Snow stopped working. I tried everything, but it didn't work. Ooh, and if they're right in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you need to look for, is the programs that you're about to use working? It looks like 2 people were saying that, yeah. But yeah, I really
maybe not use it right yet then.
Yeah.
Just keep doing the research.
Well, like you said, you always got to do your research. You got to find out the best and easiest way to do it, and preferably the quickest. Well, sometimes the quickest isn't the best.
Yeah.
But usually,
don't go for quickest. I mean,
well,
if it is the quickest, then use it.
You look for quickest, and then you look at comments and see are other people actually
never
using
use
this?
something that people, even if one person says, well, maybe not just one person, but if anybody says,
this bricked my
didn't
device.
work, don't use it because you could be the second person.
Right. Unless you read on and they say, "Oh, I did this wrong," and then you're like, "Noted, I won't do that."
I mean, if like 100 people are saying it works and one person saying it doesn't, then chances are you'll be safe. If you feel like taking that, then do it. But
for the average user, I would say no. Like for Ashley, my fiance, she has an iPhone, and I just tell her no. Don't. There's nothing really that she needs it to do. She's happy with it. She loves it. So I'm just like, just keep it how it is. You'll be good. But whereas with Android, we kept on having to root them and put new systems on because they just weren't keeping up with updates or it had bugs in it, and I tried to fix them. So it's actually a lot less work for me since she has an iPhone now. So, but yeah, that's just kind of some of the nerdy, geeky stuff we do. I'm actually like, when I first started doing this, Caleb was like, "Here, we do this to my phone. Do this to my phone."
And I now had horrible experiences.
Yeah, and he's had some bad experiences with
Android phones.
Yeah,
I mean, I love Android to death. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm still completely. I mean, I have an iPhone now, but I'm still completely an Android fanboy.
Right.
I would go back. I mean, I'm sure in the future, I'll probably buy two phones. I'll have Apple and an Android phone just because they're so completely different. But.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is, like, you've learned a lot since then, and you did all that jailbreaking stuff on your own.
Right.
And, like, I've only jailbroken an iPod Touch one time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I remembered it was pretty easy, but that's just what happens. You just get in there, and you get your hands dirty, and
make sure
you make some
work,
mistakes.
And then...
I have yet to brick a device. I've come close.
Yeah.
I've come to a point where I thought I bricked the Zoom when I was working it. Yeah. I had to go download.
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, I had to go download the original ROM file from the actual developers forum for Motorola, and I had to log in and create an account, pretending like I was a developer and stuff, and then they would give me the files.
And now you're going to prison.
But yeah, I got it. So, well, I mean, if you want to be specific about it, or I kind of am a developer. I haven't developed any apps.
Yeah.
I would like to. That's the next thing I kind of want to do. Either that or actually building custom ROMs.
That would be cool.
That's why I want to know how to do that stuff. So that's why I want to take it next. But that was a really, really geeky talk. We're at about 37 minutes.
All right.
You think we're pretty good?
I think we're good for this week.
All right.
Tune in next week. Hang on. There's one more thing I wanted to look up.
Okay.
My computer. Go to Google Celtic Thunder Voyage. I know we've talked about this last week, and this probably alienating more people than it's it's probably alienating more people than are listening to it, but I think it's tomorrow. It'll look it up on Amazon. No, go to Amazon, and it'll say, I want to say it's either tomorrow that it's hang on, no, it's Tuesday. It's the 28th. Never mind. Their new CD comes out on the 28th. So if you want to listen to that, then.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I didn't realize it was a new CD. I was like.
Yeah, Celtic Thunder Voyage is their new CD.
Okay.
So that's it.
That's
just a short shout out.
Cool.
So,
all right, cool.
If you want to look at that, go for it. So.
Anybody else we should shout out?
No.
Good wrap up.
Yep. That's it for this week. Tune in next week when it will be a pre-recorded episode, but still we have a special guest star on next week.
Yes.
Very famous, and he will be talking about some more news and some stuff about one of our favorite TV shows. So
that's just a hint.
So tune in next week, and good night.
Because we're dorks.